This video is going to show how to use the Sierra County Parcel Viewer. Once you've agreed and click through the splash screen, we're going to start on the right side with the map itself and go through the map controls. Zoom in and zoom out, the home button, you'll see me use this. Return to previous extent, return to a new extent or the next extent, and go to your location. And you'll see me use these throughout the demonstration. The printer control will not work for most folks. The best way to capture a map that you've designed or a query that you've built in this viewer is to use the screenshot tools that you have on your computer's operating system. For some folks, the print controls will work. For most, they will not. I'm going to go to the measurement tool next. Click on measurement. I can drag that window over and I can measure an area by creating a polygon or any other shape. I can measure in distance, and I can also determine my location in latitude and longitude. I'm going to select measure an area, and I'm going to zoom into the Hot Springs Cemetery. And right now I'm rolling my mouse wheel up to zoom in. I could also use the plus tool here, zoom tool. I'm going to go in a little bit more. I'm going to click and drag this up a little bit. Center cemetery. And right now I'm going to measure the area of the cemetery. I'm going to hold my control key down. And as I do that, you can see a crosshair appears. That'll actually snap to the features in the map. And in this case, I'm going to snap to this corner here. I'm holding the control key down, snapping again. Snapping at that corner, and now I'm going to double click on this corner. And as you can see, it's measured the cemetery in square feet. I can change the units. I'm going to change that to acres right now, and I've got 10.9 acres for the cemetery. And you can do the same for distance as well. I'm going to close that out. And I'm going to go to the layer tool right now to show the layers that are in this map and point out that the sketch that we just drew becomes a layer in this map called measurement. And I can turn that off and on. And I turned that off, turned it back on again. And while I'm in this list, I want to show one other feature here. And again, these are all the layers that are built into this map. Right now, we're using a base map called OpenStreetMaps. And I'll show you the base map tool in just a second. But I want to show that there's another layer here called Sierra County Pictometry. This is imagery that is funded by the Sierra County Assessor's Office. I'm going to turn this on. And I'm going to use the ellipsis symbol to zoom to that layer. And it's now going to back out to the extent of the county and show the imagery that is in this particular layer. I'm going to zoom back to the previous extent where we were at the cemetery. This is really good imagery that is again funded by the County Assessor's Office. So that's the layer list. I'm going to turn that layer off again. Just by going there. I'm going to zoom back to the full extent of the map by hitting the home button. So we've gone through measurement, we've gone through the layer list. Here's the base map tool. And I can change the base map underneath this, this entire map by choosing one of these other base maps. The one we're using right now is it's called OpenStreetMap. I wanted to change that to imagery. Do that right here. This will be imagery for the entire county. Not quite as current as that imagery that you saw moments ago from the Sierra County Assessor's Office. Back to the base map, and I'm going to go back to OpenStreetMaps. The next tool I want to show is the draw tool. This could be very beneficial. Now I have some drawing controls. And I'm just going to show one of these tools, and that's to create a polygon. Again, show measurements. So I'm rolling my mouse wheel up again. Then I measure the cemetery again. So I'm going to select the polygon tool, drag this up a bit and show that there are other controls here. I can actually label the features that I'm measuring or drawing over. We want to show our area measurement. I want the units to be in acres. And again, I can change the font color and the font size. If I choose to, you'll see that in operation. I also want to show the perimeter. And again, I'm going to choose, let's say feet here. And now again, I'm going to draw a polygon over the cemetery and show how this works. Again, I'm going to hold the control key so it snaps to my corners. Click, 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 and double click. And as you can see, it's now labeled the feature with the area. I've got about 11 acres and a perimeter of about 2,800 feet. So that's how you use the draw tool. And again, there are some other tools up here that you can use to draw different shapes. So that goes through most of the map controls. I can also find an address, and I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit here. I'm gonna turn that layer off again. Turn the layer list up there. And I'm just going to put in 619 North Cedar Street. And as you can see, it auto-populates. And based on where we're located, it has selected that. So I can use this address search as well to help me browse to a location that's of particular interest. Close that out. Now I'm going to go through the query tools over here. So I can search by uniform property code. And I'm going to cheat here. I'm just going to use a pop-up window from within the map. And here I'm just going to copy and paste a UPC. Control C to copy. And I'm going to put it here. Control V to paste. And then I'm going to apply my search. And it's going to browse to that property and find it for me. So it then located that particular property. I'm going to go back to criteria, back to my search window, back to the home. And I'm now going to search by account number. So again, I'll just randomly pick something here. And again, I'm cheating here. I'm going to copy and paste this account number. You will likely know the account number you're looking for. C, Control V to paste, hit apply, and it's going to find and zoom to that property. Back to criteria, back to all my searches. Let me go through these two search by owners. Again, I'm going to use the home button and go back to my full extent. There are two search by owners here. The one dated June 22nd, 2022 is a snapshot of the parcel data for the Sierra County Assessor's Office from June of this year. And so that is a snapshot. It's kind of frozen in time. This will be updated frequently, but not so frequently. So I'm going to use this search. The most recent search here will be the data that is most current, that is being updated by the Sierra County Assessor's Office at a more frequent basis in this layer right here. So let's try this one here. So I'm going to search by owner name, contains, and at this point, I'm going to put in just T or C. See, I'm going to click apply. My search has located 133 parcels or properties that have T or C in the owner name. And as you can see, city of T or C. I have 133 of these. I can collapse this entire list. I can click on each one of these and zoom to a particular property. Collect some more information on each of those. I can also export this list. If I hit the ellipsis up here, I can export this query out to a CSV file, which can be open in Excel. I'm going to go back to my criteria and do the same search with the most recent. Apply that. And in this search, I get 148 properties for the city of Truth or Consequences. And again, this is data that's being updated much more frequently than the previous layer, which is June 2022. Search by address. Address number is 619. I'll just use the previous. Street name contains Cedar. By that query. And again, it zooms to that property that we looked at a little bit earlier on Cedar Street. Back out again and do a final search by township. Use the home button to back all the way out. Now I'm going to search by township range. Again, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to scroll through the pop-ups and find my township range. There we go. As you can see, the example is 13 South 4 West here. I'm just going to copy and paste from here. Control C, Control V, apply, and it's now going to search and locate 14 South 4 West in a township search. Back to layers, and as you can see, it places these searches, all of these searches that we just did become their own layers in this particular map so that I can return to something that I've previously located in this map. Here we go. Hopefully this has been helpful.